For many of us, the space age evokes scenes of humans exploring the final frontier. But this image is incomplete. I'm Patrick Stewart. During the Cold War, the United States spent as much on military satellites as it spent on its entire civilian space program. And the Soviet military launched more than twice the number of satellites as the US. With the Cold War over, the promise of peaceful uses for military satellites is now bright. But on a moonless night not long ago, celestial sentinels were used in ways that would define how wars will be fought in the future. Deadlines pass, but Iraq does not withdraw from Kuwait. Over 600 jets now take to the air. Spearheading the attack, a fleet of stealth bombers heads for Baghdad. Invisible to radar, they avoid enemy fire to reach their destination.
1 bomb gone, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bombs gone.
Pinpointed by satellite, hundreds of targets across Iraq are struck at once. Attacks on power and communication systems cripple Saddam Hussein's ability to command his troops.
And you'll be able to count each bomb. 1, 2. Those are 2,000-pound bombs. Next one is a Scud storage building.
Only hours after missions are flown, the world glimpses the war from the cockpit. Selected airstrikes are described by General Charles Horner.
Headquarters of the Air Force, and keep your eye on all sides of the building as the airplane overflies the building and drops the bomb down through the center of the building.
In the olden days, they'd send a balloon up over the line, and the guy'd take a picture, and 2 days later you get the picture. What space did is allowed us to take that information, process it through, because it came down into our headquarters. Then you were able to go back up and get the information out to the forces. And then I always kept airplanes over the battlefield, and we could direct their movements and give them the targets.
Thousands of missions are flown every day for the next 6 weeks. What television viewers see hours later, commanders can watch in near real time. Eyes in space give them instant feedback from the battlefield to help them direct the waves of attack. Weather satellites help predict when skies are clear so pilots can see their targets. Using satellite data, pilots rehearse their missions over computerized terrain maps. Harnessed together, space and weapon systems give pilots a new ability to stand back and strike with precision, reducing danger to themselves and to innocent civilians. Without satellites, Saddam Hussein uses his air force for surveillance. Relentless bombing takes away his sight. Iraq keeps a fleet of missiles hidden in the desert. Traveling 4,000 miles per hour, Scuds can reach their target in less than 7 minutes. Scuds terrorize Saudi and Israeli civilians. To blunt these attacks, another group of satellites is put to the test. Above the Earth, orbiting telescopes can detect heat from a missile's flame. Halfway around the world, the skies are watched by the U.S. Space Command in Colorado Springs. This system was designed to spot large Soviet missiles. General Donald Kutina hurries to prepare his command to detect Saddam Hussein's weapons.
We had never practiced that, and he did us a favor. He launched 3 practice missiles, which got our systems tuned up and got the bugs out. And it changed the character of the war. We would say the missile was coming, and then we'd all turn to the television to see if the alarms went off, if the sirens went off.
Further information on the air raid sirens we heard going off a few moments ago.
Yes, in fact, we did hear air raid sirens here in Saudi Arabia at this location just moments ago, and I did see at least one Patriot missile that was...
Sirens echo around the world as Patriot missiles are launched. Though interceptions are not often successful, early warning by satellite destroys the element of surprise. While Iraq braces for a coastal invasion, 100,000 coalition troops cross the border unnoticed 100 miles to the west. They are guided across the faceless desert by satellites. An orbiting network called the Global Positioning System provides geographic coordinates to the troops below. With handheld receivers nicknamed sluggers, foot soldiers can locate their position within several feet, safely charting their course through minefields ahead.
I'll bring it right here.
Satellites guide helicopters to Iraqi tanks that roam the desert like ships lost at sea. Lost and severed from their command, Iraqi forces are overwhelmed and surrender in droves.
There's been accusations that the battle in the Gulf War was lopsided. And obviously there's some of that is true. We were not going to give them a chance. But the reason we wanted to do that is to get the war over with. If you stretch a war out, you just stretch out the suffering and the pain and the loss.
After 100 hours, the ground war is over. Vehicles are abandoned as Iraqis flee Kuwait. There are no firm statistics, but estimates suggest the Iraqi military paid a heavy price for their invasion. Losses to coalition forces are far less than predicted.
I don't think there's any doubt about it that one of the bright sides of the Gulf War was the limited loss of life. And if there's something to be proud of in war, I think that is it. We were able to accomplish that because of the efficiency, the speed, and the flexibility that space systems provided us.
It'll be as unlikely to see another war without us using our space assets as it would be to even consider living in a modern city without electricity. Space is integral to everything we do today.